I'd like to start our formal part of the program with the presentation of the Ruth Demers Scholarships. As many of you know, Ruth was a driving force behind the Hall of Fame and this annual banquet, and without her efforts, we would not be here tonight. Ruth passed away several years ago, but her legacy lives on at the museum and at this banquet and through this scholarship program in her name. Our first recipient is Loren Dorfman. Unfortunately, she couldn't be with us tonight, but Loren's father, Chris Dorfman, will be accepting on her behalf. We have the plaque up here, so
You may want to mention that Loren
yeah.
is at the Naval Academy.
Loren couldn't be here tonight and she's got a good reason. She's at the Naval Academy. Yeah. Loren excelled both on the soccer pitch and in the classroom. She was the first team All-League, a Section 3 All-Star, and a Section 3 Scholar Athlete Award winner. Congratulations, Loren. A great all-around student athlete who competed in swimming and diving and in baseball, Tanner won the CSC title in the 500 freestyle. Congratulations, Tanner. Our next award is the Ellie Bruce Exceptional Team of Excellence Award, which will be presented in recognition of RFA's 1981 state championship football team. This year's Bruce Award recipient was coached by Coach Tom Hoke, and sadly, Coach Hoke was not able to be with us tonight, but he did send a few comments that he would like me to read. Please know that I am saddened not to be there to celebrate this award to the 1981 football team. My health is not the greatest, but I have no regrets because all my life I loved what I did. Coaching and teaching students to become disciplined, hard workers, to excel in sports, and carry on those traits in later life. Thank you to the Hall of Fame, Carl Eilenberg, Bill Fleet, Ray Tarkowski, Mike Battolato, and Scott Parsons, to name a few, for all your help. Remember to love what you do now in life, because you may never get a second chance. Coach Hoke. Mike Battolato is one of the players on the team, and he's going to receive the certificate as a representative. Coach Hoke wanted him and the Black Knights PA announcer and statistician extraordinaire Ray Tarkowski to represent the team. And if I could have Ray come up here to say a few comments. Ray had a distinguished career with the Oneida County District Attorney's Office, and he's going to be starting his 49th season as the PA announcer at RFA Stadium. The press box at the stadium has been named in his honor, deservedly so. So Ray, look forward to you reminiscing a little bit about that great 1981 team.
Hey, we're going to do this real quickly. I have a thing about people not using adverbs anymore. When I was growing up, you always had to use an adverb. Now it's a thing of the past. But I know the team was, first of all, I'd like to thank Ellie. I think I saw her. Ellie, on behalf of the team, thank you for sponsoring the award. And as the write-up from Coach Hoke says, one of the key to this group of young men was team, and the other two words that I can think of to describe them were pride and tradition. When we wrote the program every year for RFA football, those were the two words that we used as much as we could for everything, the pride of RFA football and the tradition. So I'm going to introduce the players who are here. And there are also two coaches who are here. I was asked to substitute, obviously, Coach Hoke and Coach Mize were unable to make it. Coach Bruce is in Florida. He's unable to make it. But Coach 80 is here. Come on up here, Paul. You're part of this team. And Coach Nemai. Where's Coach Nemai? If you just think of those 5 gentlemen, Tom Hoke, Tom Mislinski, Don Bruce, Paul 80, Dwayne Nemai. There are a lot of colleges who don't have coaching staffs that good. And these gentlemen knew what they were doing. They each had their specialty. Coach Bruce was a defensive genius. He knew more about defense than anybody. And the players who are here, I have a list. Jamie Aventini came here from Vancouver, British Columbia. So, I mean, he gets the award for coming the furthest. Why don't you come up here, all of you? Mike Bartolano, do they have something to? Okay, they're gonna. David Benton Cooper, Scott Cook, Randy Casamino, JD, John Dominic was only a freshman on the team. But, John Leffridge, Lefty was one of the toughest guys to play linebacker in a long time for our faith. And John Dominic said he just jumped on the pile, but I don't think that's true. So they have. Each of them has a plaque. And on behalf of them all, again, I wish that Okie or Mize could be here. But since they can't, I'm honored to stand in their place. Gentlemen, congratulations. One last thing. Congratulations to all the other winners and the inductees. It's a great honor, and it's something that you should remember the rest of your lives.
You know, these coaches, I'll tell you. Each year we honor a current team, and this year's team recognition goes to the 2021 Smith Post American Legion baseball team. Coached by Ryan Hickey, Smith Post went 17-8 and won the District 5 championship and was runner-up in the state tournament. Coach Hickey has done an excellent job following in the footsteps of his Smith Post predecessors, Hall of Famers Tony Abone Sr. and Tony Abone Jr., leading Smith Post to 2 state tournaments in 4 years. Unfortunately, Coach Hickey could not be here tonight, but we do have some representatives from that team, and we'd like them to come up. They're going to receive certificates. Coach John Brody. John, could you come up? Coach Doug Primo. Are you here, Doug? He's here. Okay. Doug, please come up. And then we have 2 players, Marco Macri and Jake Primo. Congratulations. Neither the Rome Sports Hall of Fame nor events like tonight would be possible without dedicated volunteers. And each year we'd like to acknowledge a few of our volunteers with the Frank Clark Service Award. They are named after Frank Clark, a man who was a longtime member of the Hall of Fame Board of Directors and was active in numerous community organizations. Our first recipient is Terry Call. Terry? Terry is being awarded the Rome Sports Hall of Fame Service Award for dedication and devotion extended to Cub Scouts, Rome National Little League, Rome Youth Hockey Association, and Rome Catholic Junior and Senior High School. Terry is a native Roman who has always been active in her community. She started volunteer work at the request of Julius Perillo, the principal at Columbus School, when the school's Cub Scout troop could not find a den leader. In addition to many years as a troop leader, she organized the Camp Kingsley Cub Scout Summer Day Camp. A longtime association with the National Little League began with the family's two sons, Joe and John, playing baseball. In addition to serving on the board of directors, Terry managed the league's concession stand, and for the course of each year's entire season, there was hardly a night that she was not at the field. Her work with the league lasted long after both boys had finished their Little League careers. In the winter, the boys joined ice hockey. The Rome Youth Hockey Association needed strong volunteers to help with the largest youth hockey program in the area. Terry stepped up and contributed immensely to help this organization succeed. She was elected to the board of directors along with being named a team manager for 2 teams. Always up to the challenge, she accepted the position of association scheduler. The position coordinates the game and practice ice times for all the teams in the program. With her sons enrolled in the Rome Catholic schools, more important service work took place. The school was looking to fill the position of president of the Rome Catholic Junior Senior High Sports Booster Club. Terry stepped up and did another great job. While performing these different tasks, she still found time to serve as a timekeeper for the Rome Grizzly hockey games and Rome Free Academy contests. This caring and giving individual has given a lifetime serving the youth of Rome. Terry Call is now retired from the Rome City School District, where she worked for 38 years as a teacher's assistant. Congratulations, Terry. Tim Hogan is our other Frank Clark honoree, and unfortunately he can't be here tonight. Tim was at the reception at the hall, so he was able to receive his plaque there. It's now time to honor our newest inductees into the Rome Sports Hall of Fame. Our first inductee is Kelvin Griggs. Now, Kelvin was at the hall today but couldn't be here tonight, so accepting on his behalf, what are you, about the 4th choice, Coach? No. Is Coach Stan Evans. I'm just kidding because I played for him and he gave me a lot of grief, like when I played for him and even after. But I love the guy.
Probably not.
He, speaking of Kelvin, he's widely admired as one of the best 3-sport athletes to ever play at Rome Free Academy. 1986 graduate, made All-State his senior year in football and also excelled in basketball and track. After a year of championship basketball with Herkimer Community College, he transferred to Redwood Community College in Eureka, California, where he twice earned All-American honors in football and set records in the javelin and triple jump. He earned a full scholarship to Washington State, where he garnered Pac-10 Player of the Week honors 3 times and was named captain while playing on a team quarterbacked by a guy I covered when he was with the Bills, future NFL star Drew Bledsoe. He spent several years playing professionally in the Canadian Football League before embarking on a highly successful coaching career. He credits his mom and coaches Stan Evans, Tom Hoke, Don Bruce, and Tom Myslinski for instilling in him the values of a good work ethic and persistence. Please join me in welcoming Kelvin Griggs into the Rome Sports Hall of Fame and speaking on his behalf, Coach Stan Evans.
Wrong color. Did you play? Or you were just on a team? Huh? That and second again. I'm a bunter. That's all I've ever been. I've always said, my players, I tell them when they leave me, whenever I can help you out, don't worry, just call on me. Well, Calvin called on me last night. It was 8 o'clock. I was coming back from the St. Lawrence River. Coach, how are you? Good, good. Cal, congratulations. I'm glad to see you. Boy, tomorrow night, yeah, well, I got to ask you a favor. I said, what's the matter? He says, accept my plaque for me, will you? I says, what? Accept your plaque? So that's how I got this job. Accepting the plaque. That was before my boss here, Dave Fraga, he called, he said, now, who's going to put all the signs out by the Hall of Fame? I said, well, you and Tommy. No, we can't. So this morning I had to get up, put the signs up, and read this thing that Calvin wrote me. I did do a good job because I can read it. That was my first thing, when he told me he was going to write me a note and to read the note. I didn't know how he wrote. But Calvin was a favorite of mine. He was a great athlete. In fact, he really was a great basketball player. And he wrote this, and he wanted me to give you this message. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I was not able to exert this great honor in person, but I am truly thanked and honored to be selected in the Rome Hall of Fame, alongside some of the greatest athletes Rome has ever produced. I would like to thank my family, my brother Cornelius Fingers, and my mother Diane, who is no longer with us. My mother was my inspiration. She never missed one game or a sport I ever played. Sometimes I thought she was my coach. Not only did I get a full ear from Coach Evans, but as soon as I got home, I would hear it from her as well. If you knew Calvin's mother, she was a nurse on the second floor at Rome Hospital North. She died 4 years ago. She was a great woman. And she brought those two boys up very well. I would like to thank my childhood heroes who I tried to be like or simulate, such as Danny Nelson, Van Moffett, John Dominic? Maybe I shouldn't be reading this.
I talked to him earlier. I told him he's got
Payback, John. And so many more I grew up watching play at RFA. I would like to thank all my coaches who coached me throughout my years growing up in Rome. I would like to give special thanks to Coach Bruce, who always believed in me. Coach Mize, who taught me toughness. Coach Oak, who once told me that I could be the best athlete Rome has ever in a while if I worked hard and stayed out of trouble. Well, he did both of those. Last but not least, I would like to thank Coach Evans. My wife wrote this just like I told her. Coach Evans is more than just a coach to me. He was like my father. I never had. Thank God for that. Sorry, John. Even though he was hard on me like everyone he has ever coached, I still looked up to him. He taught me lifelong lessons that at the time, as a teenager, I didn't really understand, but I understand now. He taught me that nothing in this life is free. If you want something bad enough, you're going to have to work hard for it. He taught me to never settle and was the biggest reason why I left New York to pursue my dreams of playing professional football one day. Coach Evans, if you're reading this for the first time, I love you. Thank you for everything. Mrs. E, thank you for feeding me when I was hungry. I missed your chocolate chip cookies. Again, I would like to thank everyone for this honor. That's a young man who talked from his heart. He was a great athlete. If you coached him, you know what it is. He was a kid that came to practice every night, worked hard. I called him a thrifty kid because it was snowing out. He lived up on Park Drive, and he couldn't get to practice. I told him to go to Thrifty's, I'll pick him up. So I used to pick up the kids from up there at Thrifty's, so we called him the Thrifty team. I want to congratulate all the inductees here. I probably could stay up here and talk about all of them. Time. I could talk about him too. But I do want to congratulate all of them. I'm going to put a plug in now. If you saw all those signs out at the Hall of Fame, those were signs from our golf tournament. We're always looking for sponsors for holes, $35. It's a great deal. And we put out over 250 this year. It's our main money maker. Mr. Dorfman, I see him. I don't know how many people played for me here. How many played basketball? How many remember Big Daddy, the cigar? He was a custodian with Pops. Well, that was Big Daddy's his granddaughter? Great-granddaughter. So, reminisce a little bit. I got one story about Randy. He taught me one big thing. Never say, let's run it one more time. 1973, RFA Girls Gym, December 24th. We ran the play one more time. You guessed it. Randy broke his ankle. But I learned a great lesson. Calvin I got talking to him, he wanted me to say one thing about coaching today. There are 11 things that school players will count on. Rule 1, life is not fair, get used to it. This is for the younger people in this audience. Number 2, the world won't care about your self-esteem. The world will expect you to accomplish something before you feel good about yourself. Rule 3, you will not make $60,000 a year right out of high school. You won't be vice president with a car phone until you earn both. Rule 4, if you think you're a teacher is tough, wait till you get a boss. Rule 5, flipping burgers is not beneath your dignity. Your grandparents had a different word for your burger flipping. They called it opportunity. Rule 6, if you mess up, it's not your parents' fault, so don't whine about your mistakes, learn from them. Rule 7, before you were born, your parents weren't as boring as they are now. They got that way from paying your bills, cleaning your clothes, listening to your talk about how cool you thought you were. So before you save the rainforest from the parasites of your parents' generation, try delousing the closet in your own room. Rule 6, your school may have done away with winners and losers. Well, life is not. In some schools, they have abolished failing grades, and they'll give you as many times as you want to get the right answer. This doesn't bear the slightest resemblance to anything in real life. Life is not divided into semesters. You don't get summers off, and very few employers are interested in helping you find yourself. Do that on your own time. Television is not real life. In real life, people actually have to leave the coffee shop and go to jobs. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll end up working for one. If you can read this, thank a teacher and your parents. People, I want to thank you. I want to thank Calvin for giving me the opportunity to speak on his behalf. It was typical of one of my players. Thank you very much.
Great job, Coach. I just want to inform the other inductees, and this is from the Executive Director, Dave Sporella, that each have a minute each.
We only have a minute now, Coach.
Should have had the shot clock on.
Do you coach a sport with a shot clock, Coach?
There's 3 people not here. I borrowed their time.
No, it was a great speech. Thanks so much, Coach. Our next inductee is Phyllis Nemai.
Good evening, everybody. Buddy, do you want to read my speech for me? Come on. This has been a great weekend. We started with the parade. I rode with Calvin. It was a fun time on that parade route. then today's induction ceremony, which was very impressive, and the whole building is very impressive. It is quite a pride of Rome. And then, of course, this dinner tonight, where everybody is recognized, and we're so glad that all of you are here to be part of it. I want to thank the selection committee. I'm thrilled to be a member of the Rome Sports Hall of Fame. I became involved with the Rome gymnastics when I was first teaching. I was up at Stokes Elementary School, and at that time, the elementary physical education curriculum had a gymnastics unit. And at the end of that unit, the 5th and 6th grade team that you put forth went down, and we had a championship meet, probably at Stroud. And these 5th and 6th graders absolutely loved that competition. From that, my interest in gymnastics grew. And we recognized Jill, but I went off and went to the Y, volunteered. I said, I'd like to coach. At that time, the RFA position was filled. And I volunteered and worked with Jill, and then we decided in 1976 to strike out on our own private business at Valley Gymnastics. And we also realized the value of being a rated official so that we could learn the rules and the regulations, that we could then, in coaching our kids, give them the benefit of the best knowledge that we had and make them better athletes and better gymnasts. Upon the opening of the RFA head position, I applied, and I was accepted, and I held that job, as it was mentioned, for 13 years. It was a great run. The girls on all the teams were wonderful. They were dedicated. They were determined. And the success that was mentioned is due to their efforts to be better individuals. The excellence of the RFA program, again, is due to the dedication and determination of all the girls. Each contributed to the RFA successes. They set goals, and they worked to achieve those goals. As a coach, that's what you want your athletes to do. You want them to learn, to grow, and to be better people. In addition, the girls made friendships, lifelong friendships. They learned more than just gymnastic skills. They learned how to budget their time, to work together, to handle disappointment, and to accept and celebrate success. As I received a card from Jennifer Davis earlier this afternoon, 2 words that she used in that card to me were pride and confidence. And Jennifer, thank you for that. It was a great reminder of what a coach should try to instill in your athletes. It's been a privilege to be the RFA gymnastics coach, and I'm proud of all the achievements that all the girls have made, whether they're in school or they're after school, in their own family and jobs. Tonight, I want to again say thank you to the selection to be inducted into the Rome Sports Hall of Fame. And I'm humbled to be a member now of this fine organization. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Congratulations again, and that is the proclamation that Senator Ricker.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had to beat Buddy's time.
Our next inductee is Mike Orbinati, and accepting on his behalf is his daughter, Mary Orbinati Murphy. So please join me in welcoming Mary Orbinati Murphy to talk about her dad's legacy. Mary?
Thank you, everyone. A few months ago, the Rome Sports Hall of Fame posted a quote by John Wooden. "A good coach can change a game. A great coach can change a life." Well, this was very true for our dad, Mike Orbinati, at the beginning of his athletic career and at the end. My mom told me the story about our dad dating back to 1943. Evidently, at that time, you had a choice. You could enroll in 9th grade at RFA, or you could go to trade school. Dad chose trade school. He was a kid who grew up on Railroad Street in Rome. To him, it seemed like the right choice. During that year, one of the coaches from RFA either saw or heard of his athletic talent. That coach sought him out and convinced him to enroll at RFA the following year. He explained to Dad that excelling in sports could open many doors for him. Fast forward, junior and senior year, 1945, 1946. Dad was selected first team, offense and defense, right guard on both the All-Scholastic and All-Central New York teams. Senior year, he was captain of the team, and his teammates dedicated a page in the 1947 yearbook to him, stating they will always remember him for being a great leader and an outstanding football player. After high school, Dad received a full 4-year football scholarship to St. Bonaventure University, attaining a bachelor's degree in physical education. His career began at Cardinal Manzini High School in Dunkirk, New York, where he coached championship football and basketball teams. His 1958 football team is the only undefeated team in the school's history. As Dad's family grew, he decided to pursue the public school system, teaching and coaching at Westfield High School, and finally coming back to Rome in 1966, teaching physical education and coaching, freshman football. Dad's final job was head football coach at Proctor High School, and finally athletic director. I guess you can say that RFA football coach in 1943 certainly changed his life. Dad helped countless athletes go to college and reach their goals. Many of them stayed in contact with him through the years. He had an award he gave out every year called the Run to the Whistle Award. It was given to the player who demonstrated commitment, desire, and sportsmanship. If he was here today, he would probably say to the young athletes, always run to the whistle. To the coaches, he would probably say, never forget, you do make a difference in the lives of your athletes. And now, here we are. Dad has come full circle. Speaking for the entire Orbinati family, they're all right there, I would like to say thank you to the Rome Sports Hall of Fame, Board of Directors, especially Bill Fleet and Doug Arthur for their help during this process. Our family is very honored by this award, and we know our dad would be too. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Very heartfelt.
Thank you, Mary. Those were wonderful comments, and congratulations to your family. Our next inductee is J.R. Purrington. Please join me in welcoming J.R. Purrington to the Rome Sports Hall of Fame.
I'd like to start off by thanking the Rome Sports Hall of Fame for the honor to be inducted. It's a privilege to be among some of the amazing athletes that have been inducted in this Hall of Fame. The amount of athletes we have in this town are amazing. And we were talking about that earlier, how great some of the athletes were. I was talking to John Leff about some of the great athletes in the 80s and 90s. It's amazing. It's a very small town, but just think about the people that came and played here and that left here. It's truly amazing. Tony Washington, if I don't know you guys don't know, he was at the Hall of Fame today. He's an Olympic athlete from Rome, New York. Wow, really? You know, it's amazing for people to be in that kind of company. People like John Dominic. I've known John my whole life, played hockey with him. Played in the NFL. Really? So it's an amazing honor for that. I'd like to thank some of my coaches that affected my hockey career. Two of my younger coaches, and a lot of people might not know, is Tommy Thomas Sr. and Carl Sturdivant. Neither of them is with us today, but they were great coaches back in the day. That was when I was a younger man, younger kid. From high school years, we all know Gary Labarge, Coach Fleet. These two men affected my life on and off the ice in ways I'll never know. I'd like to share an example of Coach Fleet. I was a freshman year. We were playing Hamilton here in Rome. We were up by 10-plus goals. It really wasn't a game. We came to the bench, third period, I don't know. Fleeter said, listen, only certain people can score goals. I wasn't one of them people. So, a little while into the game, I go down, I score a goal. Nothing was said, didn't think anything of it, no big deal. Come to the next practice, Fleeter calls me up. Come here. Next thing you know, I'm doing sideboards continuously for a little while. You know, that's a big lesson I learned about respect. How you respect the other team, the other players, and coaches. We would never run up a score. I don't think we ever scored more than 12 to 13 goals in a game, ever. And there's teams out there we could have beat by 30 goals. But Coach Fleet, Coach Labarge respected these other teams too much to do that too. And that, you know, that followed me into my life as an adult in this day. Yeah, I could have scored probably twice as many goals and twice as many assists that I had. But really, just to ruin to make and embarrass somebody, that's not what we're here for. That's not what I'm about, and I ever have been. I'm not a big person about my accolades. I don't go around saying, yeah, I'm a great hockey player. It's not me. If people ask me, I just say, nope, I can play hockey. I've never been that type of person. So, when it comes to the teammates, I would like to thank my teammates for all 4 years at RCH. They were just a team. We were a family. The camaraderie around our team was like none other. It was 4 years of some of the best hockey I ever had in my life, and they were the best players. We did a lot as players. We played and we achieved the ultimate. We won a New York State championship. And we beat, all right, and we beat an NHL goalie by the name of Guy Ebert, who went on to play at Hamilton College. How about that? And I played him there too in college. But so it's, you know, it's funny when you see that. Looking back, you know, a lot of my players were there today, friends of mine, and it was great. And to see all these people here, it's awesome. A lot of people here I know, a lot of people here I don't know. But it's an awesome thing to do, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'd like to thank my father and my stepmother who supported me during my hockey career, traveled all over to watch me. I'd like to thank my grandmother, who every week would cut out every article, the OD, Sentinel, everywhere, and have them. That book now is in the Hall of Fame. I gave that years and years ago. There's every article for every year RCH played, any game we had, it sits in the Hall of Fame. I figured, why would I keep it? That's the best place for it. To finish, my 4 years made me believe anything is possible through hard work and determination. For all you young athletes out there, remember, you can achieve your goals with hard work. Never give up, and don't let everybody tell you you can't do it, ever. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. Believe me, I came from places you wouldn't believe to where I am today. Most people don't know. So you go out there and you give hard work, it'll pay off. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Joe Ryan, and accepting on his behalf will be his son, Brendan.
On behalf of my mother, Nancy, and my three brothers, Joe, Marty, and Kevin, we'd like to thank the Rome Sports Hall of Fame in honoring our father tonight. I'd also like to congratulate our fellow inductees. It's been such a great weekend for our family, and so cool learning about Coach Robinati, Coach Niemeyer, and Randy Williams. Awesome accomplishments. all three so very deserving of this honor. Calvin Griggs was a legend in a house full of 4 athletic boys and a sports-crazed father in the 1980s. My brothers and I used to fight over who could be Calvin Griggs during our pickup football games in the front yard. It was great catching up with him, and he was one of my dad's all-time favorite athletes. JR, my dad, was a huge proponent of Rome Catholic athletes getting into this great organization. His buttons would be bursting going into the Hall of Fame with a fellow winger. As he would have written in his column this week, congratulations to J.R. Purrington, one of Rome's great guys. Rome Sports Hall of Fame. I can't think of 3 better terms to describe my dad. Let's start with Rome, a community my father loved being a part of more than anything. He was so proud to be a Roman. He was born in Rome Hospital in the late 1940s to a World War II hero father, our grandfather Joseph Ryan Sr., and a very loving mother, Claire Keese. He was the second oldest of 14 children and the oldest of 9 boys. My parents moved out to Albright Road in West Bland a few years after Dad was born because they needed a little bit more space. He always stayed locked into Rome, though. He went to St. Mary's up until 9th grade. And after high school at West Bland, in which he was a star on the basketball team, he went to Cobleskill for a brief stint. He volunteered for the U.S. Army and was sent to Vietnam at just the age of 21, a service he and our family are very proud of to this day. After serving his country, he came back to Rome and went to work for Marty Nunn as an ambulance driver, where he fell in love with the boss's daughter, my mom, Nancy. They were married in 1972, and they started their life together right here in a place he loved, Rome, New York. Sports. Our father loved every and all kinds of sports. When he wasn't playing or coaching sports, he was watching sports, talking sports, and of course, writing about sports, which he did in his column for 25 years. Our father's brain was that of a sports encyclopedia. He would often tell us of the great players of the 1960s, both professionally and here in Rome. Dad got sports bug at an early age, playing with his brothers in the giant yard out on Albrecht Road. Football, baseball, and of course basketball were the Ryan family favorites. Every one of my uncles could flat out hoop. Unfortunately for my brothers and I, my dad happened to be the only brother that was under 6 feet tall. My uncles Jim, Jack, and my late Uncle Tom played with Dad in the Rome City Leagues and the Black River Leagues. He would often show us box scores of those games where he would score 20, and sometimes there was even a 30 where he'd drop in there. On the basketball court, my dad never met a shot he didn't like. After his playing days were over, Dad focused coaching the 4 of us. He started the San Jacinto Elementary Basketball School League with my Uncle Dennis and the late John Della Contrada. The 4 of us spent countless nights during Rome winters in the 1980s in the gym at St. Peter's on Floyd Avenue. My dad literally could have written the book on how to coach youth sports. Number 1, and most importantly, he made it fun for the kids and made sure we had a good experience as a member of his team. Number 2, he was a great teacher of fundamentals and preached how to play the game the right way. I only saw my dad get angry a few times while coaching. And in those times, it wasn't because a kid struck out or made a turnover or missed a shot. It was when a kid was disrespectful to a teammate or a coach or a referee. And make no mistake about it, he wanted to win. He had a very competitive in everything he did. I call it a quiet competitiveness. He knew if you work hard, practice to get better, and play the game the right way, that winning would take care of itself. And it wasn't coincidence that his teams often won. When the 4 of us moved on to our high school playing days, Dad became the man behind the scenes. He was the booster club president for RCH, constantly raising money for Red Wing sports. He and my mom never missed a game, no matter how far away they played. Although we loved and was so devoted to Rome Catholic and RCH sports, Dad loved and rooted for all sports in Rome. He loved watching Coach Evans' RFA basketball teams compete and took us to RFA Stadium every Friday night to watch Coach Hoke and later Coach Davis's great RFA football teams. Dad had a great and close relationship with a lot of the legendary coaches that were mentioned here tonight, and he wrote them frequently in his column. Coaches Kenny, Skibitsky, Fiorini, 80, Didio, and Fleet from RCH, and Evans, Hoke, Myslinski, and Bruce at RFA. And the one coach who we always said was the best athlete he ever saw from Roman is here tonight, Coach Mike Davis. Hall of Fame. I've already talked about how my dad was a Hall of Fame businessman, and we're here today celebrating him being a Hall of Fame sportsman. But more importantly than both of those, my dad was a Hall of Fame family man. He was a wonderful husband to my mom for 47 years, and he was the best father the 4 of us could have ever asked for. He was loving, positive, present in our lives, and a great role model. The biggest compliment the 4 of us to this day can receive is when somebody tells us, "You remind me a lot of your father." He was an awesome grandfather, brother, uncle, and brother-in-law. He had such close relationships with so many of my first cousins and their children as well. After my parents became empty nesters, he would make dinner for my mom, make sure she was settled in, and then he would bounce around Rome to find a game or two most weeknights. He could be seen at a gym or a field or a few nights a week just to get some data for his column. My father loved sports, he loved Rome, and most importantly, he loved his family. And I want to especially thank the 30-plus family members that are here tonight to honor Dad with us. It means so much to my mom and to my brothers. Thanks again to the Rome Sports Hall of Fame for this great honor. And as my mother said in the statement in the Sentinel, some people bring a light so great to this world that even after they are gone, the light still remains. Thank you.
Our final inductee is Randy Williams. Please join me in welcoming Randy Williams to the Rome Sports Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to everyone else who's on this, is it a podium or a dais, I don't know, whatever it is, and then also for everyone else who's going to be honored. As to those who are up here tonight, you know, you go to that Hall of Fame and I'm seeing the names of the people that I read about, you know, you read about as a kid, and when you get older, and since then, as I would still read of the Sentinel about all these people, how wonderful they are. And why am I here? You know? I have a good press agent, my sister. She wrote a pretty good application. But this is the honor. You can't believe how this is. Tonight on the way here, it was like back as a kid growing up, I grew up in the outside district up by Lake Delta. School bus was one of the best things that there ever existed because I got more homework done on that school bus going into school than I did any other time, even in my third grade teacher, Mrs. Mosier, who, I did have a crush on her. Except, and she was pregnant, left during the year, and Mark was born. Lord, what you did to, anyway, I'll get past that. I'm past it. I got past it. You can probably tell. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. You guys do so much work. And again, unless you've been involved, unless you've been here and gone through what we've been doing, especially this has been going on for 2 years. I got a call from Carl. I don't remember if it was from Bill or if it was from Carl Eilenberg 2 years ago. And they told me, and I was, wow, that's pretty exciting. But it's been 2 years putting this whole thing together, and you know, we keep this all together to get us here. It's been a great job for all the members, and I know some of you. Most of you have no idea who I am. You don't. You know, I left here 34 years ago for the last time. Before that, I lived in Albany for 7 years. I came back for 3 after law school for a while. Moved out to Indiana. Met my wife. Be careful. It shows how choices. Sometimes you make a choice. You don't think it's going to mean anything. You make a choice. You go to Jack Appleseed's in the north side of Utica on a Friday night. Whatever. You meet a young woman who did the same thing from Dolgeville. You meet, 16 months later, you're married and you're moving to Indiana. You just don't know. That's a choice over which you had no decision. You didn't know what was going to happen. The decisions I may talk about at a later time. I walked the parade yesterday and I saw how important it was. And one of the things it did, I met JR. Never met him. I'd read about him. I'd never met him. I found out yesterday, stepmother, born, raised 2 doors down from me up in the outside district. I've already talked about Mrs. Mosier. Rome, it's all over. I mean, no matter where you are, you meet people, and it gets closer and closer and closer every day. You see people. I don't care if you're living in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I understand they have like get-togethers every week with a number of people live there, or out in Indiana. You meet people who know of it. Be proud of the city. Be proud of everything it's done for you to get you where you are now. Now it's your job, to the students, to the youth, to take that next step beyond. I'm going off script. Thank you to the coaches. We've all talked about it. We've all talked about it. And for those of you who never had this man as a coach, I feel sorry for you. Was he hard? He was hard. That story, yeah, we were screwing up. It was the championship season. We were screwing up Christmas Eve day. We ran it one more time. Yeah, I ended up in the hospital on Christmas Eve day. I did learn that a great thing to do is you take towels, fill them with snow, athletic tape, and it keeps the swelling down. So that's a future guide. That, and in soccer, you take the shin guards, put them there when you break a wrist, and you tie it on. That's the other thing. It's amazing the things you learn. But the coaches who've influenced all of us that are here, we couldn't do it without them. There are others that we need to thank. My family. My parents, who would do anything to support my decisions. But they didn't make the decisions for me. You see that a lot. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. Parents getting in the way. I'm not saying that's happened here at all. And we're all wonderful. We're all here. But, so to my parents and also to my mother, who never, ever threw out my baseball cards. And I have my Yankee card, my Mickey Mantle cards from the early 1960s in the shoebox out in Indiana. And I brought something that I shared with Scott today. It's a scorebook. I don't know how I got it, but I know the statute of limitations has run. But it has, among other things, there's a guy named Mike Brady back in the day who would keep score for different games. And I have the actual box score from that championship game. We gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. We had a 3-2 lead. We lost 6-3. But, so Mom, thank you. My children, well, first, my family, my other family, the table over here, we're kind of dwindling as time goes on. My sister, my older sister, Suzanne, who a good friend of Susie's, who moved back to Rome after 52 years plus being away. Wow, she came back home. My mom always wondered if that was going to happen for me, but, My sister, I've mentioned, my publicist, she put everything together. You may know her as Wendy Waters. So that Waters family has been around for a while. To my children, Rachel, who's not here tonight, because those of you who complain about school here, she graduated from Butler, got her master's degree this spring, working at a school in the north side of Indianapolis. They start classes tomorrow. I know. So she couldn't make it. But I want to thank her for being willing to allow me to coach her for so many years. Those years where we drove to games and she drove back or rode back with me. Not drive, no, she didn't drive. It was with the riding back with me. For Sam, who didn't get mad because I didn't coach him as much, which was probably the best thing that could have ever happened for both of us. If you saw the article in the paper and I was serious, man, boys are really pains. But to my wife, Shay, took the young man out of central New York, deposited him in Indiana for what we thought might be 5 or maybe 10 years as she got her PhD. Again, she was from Dowdesville. Wow, got a PhD. It's pretty good. But I coached for a long time, and it wasn't until COVID hit 2 years ago when our club shut down, our soccer, it shut down out in Indiana. I was home. I was home at night. I was home on the weekends. And maybe it wasn't until that time that I recognized how much the spouse of a coach puts up with when the coach, the spouse, isn't there. Thank you, dear. To my players, they gave me an escape. They've given me an escape from my reality, my real world job is, I'm in my now third term. My days are spent with the worst of the worst people in front of me, and I have to decide, what am I going to do with this person? Ray was trying to put him there. And I'm trying to decide what to do with them. But one of the things that's also done, these girls, they knew that I tried to show them, you have a real life. You have the opportunities, take advantage of it, because there's so many people out there who don't have those same opportunities. Or maybe those same people who have had that chance to make a decision, they haven't made that right decision in there in front of me. And then I have to make a decision, not a choice. I have to make a decision. So I thank my players. I'm speaking about my coaching. It's rather presumptuous, I think, because of everything that all of these other coaches have done for all of you. Doesn't matter how old you are. You had a coach, someone who's going to step in and take care of your team. To the youth, you can't understand how important it is. To the parents, don't get mad at the coaches. If they didn't do it, would you? But as I said, I was a little presumptuous to talk too much about my coaching. It was an avocation. It wasn't a profession. Something I'd love to do, be around these kids, bring me back to life after these awful days I could spend in the courtroom. But I had 5 rules. I've had the rules that Calvin had ring true. First, family, school, soccer, in that order. If you someone on the family had something going on with the family, you did it with them. If you had a paper due the next day, first of all, you should have done it the week before, but if it was due the next day, you got to do it, right? Soccer's last. Second, your first paycheck from a soccer team was not going to be as a player. It was going to be as their attorney, their accountant, their therapist. One exception, one young woman playing in Europe and for the Philippine national team, I had nothing to do with that. But that's true. 3, field ready. Field ready. If it was at 6 o'clock, don't be pulling into the parking lot at 6 o'clock. Don't be taking your earrings out at 6 o'clock. We have a finite period of time in which we get to spend with you. 4, there are no participation awards in life. Does that mean I'm supposed to stop? Shh, shh. You got 1 minute? Nah, it ain't going to happen. Right? She's a psychologist. She's telling me that. The 5th thing, and I'm deferring to Ray yet again, he talks about adverbs. Never, these are the rules of soccer, rules of life for my soccer players. Never end a sentence in a preposition. Now, mind you, I've been living in Indiana, okay? And if I heard one more girl say, "Coach, where's the game going to be at?" It's going to be at the field where we play next. Play at. Scott mentioned, and I will move this through, sorry. Mentioned today the poet, Tennyson. I have a different poet. His name is Springsteen. And he had a song back in 1984 called Glory Days. In one part of that song, it says, "Glory days, well, they'll pass you by. Glory days in the wink of a young girl's eye. Glory days, glory days, glory days." These are your glory days to the youth, but don't think this is the end of it. right? Don't think that this is the end. You remember the successes of your teams, the 74 basketball, the 73 baseball. You remember those. You remember your failures. My last story, and I'm bringing Coach Evans back into it, 1972. I know, 50 years ago. Undefeated season. Going to Notre Dame, game number 13. Top of the 7th. We score a couple runs. We're 1 run down. Man on second base, I'm up. And I still remember going up to the plate, and should I go ask him if I should take a pitch? No. He'll tell me. Swing of the first pitch, fly out. We lose the game. We lose the undefeated season for the guy who cared most about all of us. You remember those things as you move on as an individual. Again, for the youth, good luck. Good luck. We screwed things up for you sometimes, but we have our faith that the youth of today are going to pull it through. Thank you.
I probably, 50 years later, probably should apologize to you. Randy and I both had long, flowing blonde hair, and would get confused. Coach Schwark would get confused, like, over who was who. Now, he was 10 times the athlete I could ever hope to be and stuff, and I was just a reserve on that team. But there was one time, I forget who we were playing, maybe we're getting ready to go on the bus there at the back at RFA, and I won't mention the name of the girl that I was going with, but you know, we were making out in my uniform, and then it was time to get on the bus. And so we get on the bus, and Coach Schwark is going, Randy, and like reamed him out and stuff like that. So 50 years later, I have to apologize to you for that, okay? Sorry about that. You didn't have to, if it was Coach Evans, you would have been running sprints or whatever, and I would have been laughing, I suppose. I don't know. You had a great message there, and again, I think we need a round of applause for this incredible class that was selected this year. And as much as I joke around with Coach Evans and so forth, as I mentioned this afternoon, there were people like Coach Evans and Coach Mize and Coach Bruce and Coach Hoke who believed in me. Again, I was not a great athlete or whatever, but they knew I loved the game and I would work hard and stuff. And they instilled in me lessons that, you know, I've carried on throughout my career and stuff. So, again, they didn't just coach sports, they coached life and human beings they produced. So I'm grateful for that, even though I joke around with you, Coach, every time. But we also had this message about, this was, you know, these are accomplished people up here, extremely accomplished, who have gone on and done wonderful things in their lives. And now we get an opportunity to honor young people who are here tonight, the future here. And hopefully you're going to be inspired by these people to keep doing the good that you have done. At least that's what we hope. And that's why we're honoring you now. You're in the prime. And so we hope someday, we hope to still be around for it and stuff, but you know, we hope that many of you are going to wind up here someday with a plaque in the Hall of Fame. But in the meantime, we want to acknowledge what you're doing right now. So we have people that we want to honor who are currently pursuing excellence in athletics. And we call these our Sports Personality Awards. First person we want to honor is Lena Beer. Lena was a 4-year starter, 2-year captain, and co-MVP. She recorded 117 strikeouts in 103 innings to earn all TVL honors. She'll be attending Brockport State. Lana? Or Lena, I'm sorry. Lena. Our next honoree, another softball and field hockey star, Maggie Klaczynski. Maggie? Maggie excelled in field hockey and softball, was a 2-year captain in both sports, and earned all-league honors in both sports. She batted .422 with a .531 on-base percentage in softball and will be attending Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts. Congratulations. The next honoree, and we honored her a little bit earlier, and unfortunately she's not here, but Loren Dorfman. Again, we want to honor her. Her dad's here. In addition to receiving the Ruth Demers Scholarship mentioned earlier, Loren earned first-team All-League and Section 3 honors in soccer. Our next honoree is Alana Fragapane. Alana was a first-team All-Star, leading RFA in scoring in field hockey with 17 goals and had 29 goals for her career. Great job. Next honoree is Tylen Frost. Am I pronouncing it right? Is it Talon? I'm sorry, Talon Frost. My apologies. Sorry about that. Talon is a three-sport standout. She was a first-team All-League selection in basketball and was a Section 3 champ in the discus. She also played tennis. Our next honoree is not here, but we want to honor her, Lily Gilroy. Lily was a senior defender in lacrosse, and she was selected the Tri-Valley League's Girls Player of the Year. She also was a first-team TVL selection. Our next honoree, and she's also sadly not here, Alexis Kennedy. She was a team captain in volleyball. She earned all tournament honors at the Beaver River Tournament, and she finished in the top 10 in blocks among local high school players this season. Drew Kopat. A junior field hockey player, Drew had 13 goals and 2 assists and earned League, Section 3, Mohawk Valley, and All-State honors. Congratulations, Drew. Alyssa Nardzliko. Alyssa? A team captain and center midfielder as a junior, Alyssa earned first-team League and Section 3 All-Star honors in field hockey. She also earned first-team TVL honors in lacrosse and played ice hockey. Good job, Alyssa. This person isn't here. I want to honor her, Mackenzie Pantola. As a senior, Mackenzie was part of the Section 3 composite team that won the state championship in bowling. She finished with the highest average in the TVL and was a Black R winner. Good job, Mackenzie. And another person who sadly couldn't be with us tonight, but we want to honor, is Amani Pugh. Amani, as a sophomore, set a new record in the 55-meter indoor hurdles while finishing 6th in the States. She also competed at the Nationals, earning All-American honors. In track and field, she was a Section 3 champ in the 100-meter hurdles and was runner-up in the long jump. She also competed on the varsity swim team. And our next honoree is Alex Tapia. Alex? A first-team TVL selection in lacrosse, Alex also excelled in gymnastics. She plans to continue her lacrosse career in college. Good job, Alex. No go. Oh. Okay, if we could get all the high school male winners, if you could line up over here while we're getting the photograph taken with the girls over there. So hopefully you all know, and if not, I'll call your name. Yeah, we're going to line you up alphabetically by height. Okay, we are going alphabetically, not by height. Jack Anderegg. Jack? Jack was named a Section 3 Scholar Athlete Award winner in soccer and also was on the varsity swimming and baseball teams. He's going to be attending my alma mater, Syracuse University. Good job, Jack. Next award winner is Tanner Brody. Tanner? As mentioned, this Ruth Demir's scholarship winner was the CSC champion in the 500-meter freestyle. He also played varsity baseball and basketball. Next honoree is William Dagada. William? Dagada? They put apostrophes in different things. Dagada. You gotta regatta. You Dagada. William won the Section 3 pole vault championship as a sophomore with a vault of 11 feet. Good job, William. Marco Macri. Marco earned first-team Tri-Valley League honors in baseball and was a member of the Smith Post's Legion championship team. Good job, Marco. Ryan O'Connell. Ryan earned first-team All-League and first-team Mohawk Valley honors in football. Way to go, Ryan. Jake Primo. As a junior, Jake had 8 goals and 14 assists for RFA, earning first-team All-Mohawk Valley honors. He also was a first-team Tri-Valley League All-Star and is the grandson of Hall of Famer Mike Davis. Mike, why don't you stand up? He doesn't want to stand up. It's too modest. Edward Rakowski. As a senior, Ed won the Section 3 high jump title with a jump of 6 feet, 6 inches. Way to go, Edward. This next gentleman isn't here, but his accomplishments are pretty extraordinary. Ashton Thompson. Ashton Thompson. Ashton set an RFA wrestling record with 150 victories and won the Black R as a senior and was a 3-time New York State tournament qualifier. Okay, we're now going to announce the adult female winners in the sports personality category. First one is Sarah Crockett. Sarah. The RFA graduate earned Division III All-American honors in the shot put after finishing 6th for Brockport State at the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Meet. She also was named SUNYAC's Most Outstanding Field Athlete. Great job, Sarah. Our other adult female winner is Gina Klepadlo. And she's got her medals too. That's great. All right. Excellent. Gina won a gold medal in her singles bocce match at the USA Special Olympics, and also won a silver medal in the doubles competition. Her team finished 5th in the nationals. Tremendous job, Gina. Great job. Thank you. Okay, the adult male winners are, the first one, Paul Amoroso. Paul? Hey, Paul. All right. Paul's got some precious medals, too. Paul won a gold and 2 bronze medals in bocce at the 2022 USA Special Olympics. He finished 3rd in singles, teamed up for gold in doubles, and won another bronze in the team event. Way to go, Paul. Woo. Way to go. Okay, we have 2 female sports personality of the year winners. First one is Amaya McLeod. Amaya? This past season was one of milestones for Amaya as she surpassed the 1,000 point mark in basketball and earned first team TVL, Mohawk Valley, Central New York, Section 3 honors, along with the Davison Invitation Player of the Game and More Than a Game Player of the Game awards. And she has another year left, so I'm sure to be more milestones achieved. Great job, Amaya. And the other female sports personality of the year award winner is Emily Toth Ratazi. Emily? Emily was the TVL champ in cross country and finished 2nd in Section 3 and 8th at the States. She qualified and competed in the Nationals. She holds all of RFA's records in distance events and in the steeplechase, earning all-state and all-American honors in both indoor and outdoor track. The Black R winner will be attending Syracuse University in the fall. Way to go. Go Orange. Oh, okay. Okay, and I just want to backtrack here. In the adult male category, I forgot to mention, and he's not here, but let's give him a round of applause, Tom Meese. Tom compiled an outstanding record as the Oriskany baseball coach, and he recently was named the new athletic director at Whitesboro. Good job, Tom. Okay, and our male sports personality of the year is Caden McCaskill. Caden? Caden distinguished himself in basketball, football, and the classroom. He was first team all-league in hoops and showed his array of skills with a triple-double in a game against Utica Proctor. He had 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 blocks. Tremendous game. He was first team all-league in football as well and was a Great American Rivalry Series Scholar Award winner. I voted for him numerous times on my computer and stuff, so it was great to see him represented there. So let's have another round of applause for all these award winners. These are the future stars. Could I get Paul Amoroso and Gina Klepadlo up here? Okay, Gina would like to say a few words here, so if we can just get your attention. Gina, the microphone is yours.
Hi, this is Gina. I'd like to say thank you very much for everybody to come here. It's so special to me and very proud all of us. Huge thank you for my family as well. My brother, my two brothers, my mom, my dad, and this is so very proud of myself and all in my heart.
Thank you, Gina. Congratulations to you both.
Okay, guys, you can go up that side.
You can go up there. Yep.
Yeah, excellent, yep.
Yep. Yeah. Great job. Great job. Good job. Wonderful job. Okay. Well, now I'd like to, he's up here, call him up, our Executive Director, Dave Sparalia. Did I get it right? Yes. Okay. And I just want to, before I sit down, I just want to say thank you for having me back and enduring some of the mispronunciations or whatever, but I thoroughly enjoyed being back in Rome and reconnecting with some people I haven't seen in a half century and stuff, and it's been great. So thanks so much, and please support the museum and the Hall of Fame any way you can. Thanks so much.
All the way from Rochester, I got him a comp room, but he said he's not staying, he's driving back tonight. So be safe, okay? No, I got him for next year already, Coach, we're good. I want to congratulate all the inductees. And I would like everybody to stand for a moment of silence for Joe Ryan Jr. and Mike Orbinati, who are not able to be with us tonight, but are here in spirit. So please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. I know they're smiling down, and they're together. I have the honor of being the executive director of the Rome Sports Hall of Fame. And as I tell everyone, that and $2.40 gets me a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. However, this could not have happened without our entire board of directors. We have about 25, 26 members. I believe we have probably 8 to 10 associate members. So it has been a big undertaking, especially we had our golf tournament last weekend and we came right into this. It's been hard, but it's come to fruition, and I think this is probably one of our best banquets we've ever had. I'm going to be sending a letter to Nancy Ryan. I want to become an honorary Ryan because we've got 4 tables here. In 2019 and 2020, we were unable to have this, so as we alluded to earlier, it is so great to be back and doing this again. The speeches you heard tonight were excellent. For the young people, please take note of what these inductees said, what they've learned, and how they got here, and hopefully someday we'll have you up here. The other thing I want to say about the Rome Sports Hall of Fame is we're probably the best kept secret in Rome, New York. We're located next to the former Erie Canal Village. Everybody says, why don't you get into the city of Rome? You'll get more people. Well, if everybody would donate and we'd get about $4 or $5 million, we could do it because we are a nonprofit organization and we rely on donations, bequests, things of that nature. We normally do not get any money from the state, federal, or the city. We have to file for grants. We have to run a golf tournament, which is our major fundraiser. We don't make, I don't think, any money on the banquet, but throughout the years, we've persevered. I've been with them since 2005, and it's been a great ride so far, and I enjoy it. My wife will tell you I don't spend a lot of time at home in my retirement because I'm always down in the Hall of Fame doing something, which takes me back to Terry Cull, who was a mentor to me at Rome National Little League many years ago. I believe I put like 13 years in there before I became a member of the Hall of Fame. So service is in my background. I get that from my dad. I'd also like to reach out and thank Steve Waters, the owner of the Sentinel, Brad Waters, the publisher, I believe Todd Dewan over there, for their support over, it's 46 years technically, for the coverage that they have given the Rome Sports Hall of Fame and the inductees. They've done a great job for us. We appreciate it very much. That about does it for me, so this will end our 44th banquet. As I said, it's been a great time. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We thank you for coming. Please support the Rome Sports Hall of Fame. Everyone drive home safely. Thank you.
You want to take